Hello everyone, Dustin Benzel here, and welcome to another Pokemon XY anime discussion. What this should be is the Pokemon Reflections of Generation 6 reflections so far. But unfortunately, the audio of that video was not recording for whatever stupid reason, because I'm a moron apparently. And so unfortunately that's gonna have to hold off. I will maybe record later after this video, or maybe even record tomorrow, and I will get on my Pokemon reflections of Generation 6 so far. But today I want to talk about a little bit more information that was revealed in regards to Shota and Valerie. I guess a couple of summaries wouldn't hurt here. But yeah, basically there is some confusion here, and I really want to get this over with before the episodes actually come out, because tomorrow is the Gengar Scary House episode, and then right afterwards we'd be getting into Shota and the gym with Valerie. Well, that's going to have to wait till later because my internet's too slow. Sorry about that. But I'll just tell you, I'll just paraphrase what I've read and stuff, and then in text format, might be a couple of texts because Wondershare's limitation in regards to text is stupid. I have no idea why any video editing software would add a character limit for text. Don't know why. I mean, you shouldn't be having text bigger than your. Never mind. Let's just move on. For the Bagon versus Spritzy episode, there is a summary that did catch my eye, and basically it says that Ash is unable to battle Valerie, so he ends up finding a trainer by the name of Shota and wants to battle. But for some reason, his traveling companions, Bonnie and Serena, have gone missing. Now, when I first read the thing, it wasn't just Bonnie and Serena, it was just his traveling companions, but suddenly now it is Bonnie and Serena, so I don't know what's going on. And in that particular episode, Ash is going to be using Frogadier, which is kind of basically confirmed for the voice actor list that came out for the Spritzy or Bagon versus Spritzy episode. But there's also to note that Fletchender and Hawlucha are also going to be in next week's episode. I'm recording this Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, is the Scary House, and then the following Thursday after that is Spritzy versus Bagon. So whenever I can edit this and upload it, that's what's going to happen. Now, here's the thing. You heard what the summary is, right? So before I discuss the problems I have, let's go a little bit into further more. Then the Valerie gym battle says something of the nature of Ash is not prepared going into Ash is not prepared to Ash has not planned a strategy for Valerie's gym this time, or planned a strategy for a gym this time. So how will Ash overcome Valerie in some fashion or another? Now, I just wanted to let you know that because I want to go back to this Bagon versus Spritzy episode, and I am really, really confused as to why Shota is battling Ash in this episode, and then a couple of episodes after, not after Noibat is captured, but right before Noibat is captured, 2 episodes basically after this battle, Ash and Shota are going to further have another battle. And that just doesn't make any sense to me, because, well, there are reasons why that would make sense, but I'm concerned as to why, if my speculation of the episode is wrong, then why they're insisting on having Ash and Shota battle each other in a time period where the only difference is going to be Shota's Trico evolving, Ash having his fairy badge, and nothing else. And Shota's Trico is likely going to evolve during episode 75 anyway, so it really doesn't matter. However, there is one possibility to consider. There is one possibility to consider, that the battle with Ash versus Shota in 73 is going to be interrupted as a result of Serena and Bonnie have appeared to be missing. The interesting thing is, Team Rocket are not in the episode because Hawlucha's voice actor was listed as Hawlucha, but Hawlucha's voice actor is James's voice actor, and if Team Rocket were in the episode, James would have gotten priority over Hawlucha. So it's great. Team Rocket's not going to be in the episode, at least episode 74 or 3. What? So, but like I said, I think the battle gets interrupted and is not completed, and that's why episode 75 is mostly about the battle. But like I said, if I'm wrong and the battle does have a conclusion, I'm still going to be utterly surprised as to why the writers are choosing to do this. Because if Ash beats Shota in episode 73, and Ash is supposed to beat Shota in episode 73 or 5, if Shota is supposed to beat if Ash is supposed to beat Shota in episode 75 as well as 73, then why in the world did they not wait for this until after Ash got Noibat? Because Noibat is the only Pokemon that I will ever feel comfortable losing in a battle, because it's brand new capture. It doesn't have a lot. I realize that maybe the Starly episode may have to do with training Noibat so it can actually fly. I may have been a little bit off in my speculation when I made that speculation in regards to Noibat. Noibat might actually have a couple more episodes of trying to fly. I thought it was just going to be a way for Ash to actually capture Noibat. Noibat bonds with Ash as a result of this and is then captured by Ash as a result of this. But I might be wrong. The Starly episode might be more of training Noibat to fly. But as I'm saying, Noibat losing is the only Pokemon that I feel comfortable losing at this particular point in time. Not Hawlucha, not Fletchender, and not Frogadier. I've already said Pikachu is okay, but I just have a feeling it's not going to be Pikachu. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned as to why Ash is battling Shota so frequently, just because, whatever. So I'm hoping the battle gets interrupted and they actually are finishing it in episode 75 rather than having another battle, because it wouldn't have made any sense. Because like I said, the only difference between the two is Trico evolving to Grovyle, which is probably going to happen in 75, so there otherwise wouldn't be any particular point why there has to be two battles with the same trainer so short of time. So hopefully episode 75 is just going to be the restart of the battle that was interrupted in 73, and then we'll get a proper, well, it's not going to be proper because it's a series of one-on-ones, but a more proper battle between Ash and Shota. So that pretty much covers 73 and 75. 74, a gym battle with Valerie. Now, for me, I think it makes perfect sense that Ash isn't going to quite be prepared for Valerie, because why would he be prepared? Well, I mean, he pretty much is already prepared as much as he could possibly be in regards to the Pokemon, because he's using Fletchender, and Fletchender is Ash's most advantageous Pokemon to use in the gym battle. because it is a fire type, resists fairy types, and it also has Steel Wing, which is super effective against fairy types. Steel Wing is super effective against Steel Wing, which is a steel type, is super effective against fairy types like Spritzy and Sylveon. Can I talk? Am I allowed to talk now? Am I allowed to talk, or am I just going to continue to speak gibberish just because? um, so I can understand why Ash isn't quite prepared for the gym battle against Valerie, because he could not prepare for the battle. There is nothing that Ash can do more than just choose Fletchinder, because he's really going in there blind. Even if Ash does see Sylveon, or not Sylveon, Valerie. I know speaking English at all. Never in my entire life. I'm speaking gibberish to you right now. If you can understand me, wow. I apologize. I have no idea what's wrong with me. But hopefully you're amused and entertained by my lack of ability to communicate with you. Woo! Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too loud and awkward, because I don't have the best microphone. So I understand Ash not being prepared to battle Valerie because he's never come up with fairy types before. He's never battled fairy types before. And so Valerie is going to have that particular advantage over Ash, because even if Ash does see Valerie's battle Spritzy versus Bagon, and it is an actual battle, and it shows a little bit of Valerie's skill as a gym leader, Ash still has no idea what to expect of fairy-type Pokemon. So I can understand. The wording, however, kind of implies of the summary. The summary implies that Ash could have prepared for the gym battle, but chose not to, and we're just going to see how he fares. But I honestly don't think there's nothing that Ash can do to prepare more than choosing to use Fletchinder in the battle. Well, maybe using Pikachu as well because of Iron Tail, but otherwise there just really isn't anything more Ash can do. I still sort of expect Fletchinder to sweep Sylveon and Spritzy, so it could just be the Fletchinder gym, because that's all it should be, is a Fletchinder gym. If Fletchinder beats Sylveon and loses to Spritzy, and Pikachu is used for Iron Tail and beats Spritzy for the Fairy Badge, I'm going to be a little upset. Pikachu needlessly got Viola and Grant. Corinna, I'm allowing that just because Pikachu is allowed one gym battle at least per generation. But Viola should have been Fletchling, fine. Fletchling didn't do so well, or Fletchling was too much of a newish Pokemon for Ash, that's why I didn't win. Hey, Fletchinder, Valerie, okay, and Ramos against Jumpla. Alright, okay, let's give Pikachu the first gym battle, because why not? It's not like any other of Ash's Pokemon can do very well. Oh, Pansage! Oh, Charizard! Oh, Turtwig! Oh, okay, anyway, sorry. Sorry. So, sure, fine. I'll give Pikachu Viola as well. I don't agree that it beat both of Viola's Pokemon in the rematch, but whatever. Whatever, fine. Fine, whatever. So, but Grant, that was just such bull. And their only reason why they did that is because Pikachu used Pikachu. Ash used Pikachu in the Battle Chateau against the Fletchling trainer, and Grant said something about, oh, your Pikachu is so powerful. Oh, please have it be used against me in the gym battle. Thank you, writers. This could have been Froaky's time to shine. Froaky could have beaten Grant. because it's not like Froakie would have gotten anything else. I don't even know if Froakie ever beat any Pokemon outside of Grant's Onix. I can't think of any Pokemon that Froakie actually outright beat outside of Onix. So I'm probably missing something, probably, but still, Froakie should have been the one to take out Grant's, Tyrant, and Onix. If Pikachu had to beat anything, then make it a 3-on-3 and have Pikachu beat a Binacle. Maybe if Froakie can beat both Tyrant and Onix, well then give Fletchling Onix, because that would be awesome. Having Fletchling using Steel Wing against Onix and then beating would have been the coolest thing ever. But anyway, kind of reminds me of that Hoot who beat like a Steelix or Onix in second generation. That was pretty cool. I like to see little itty bitty tiny Pokemon just knocking out large giant Pokemon. There's just an appeal to me for there. So anyway, so if Pikachu ends up beating Valerie Spritzy, I'm gonna be upset. It should be Fletchender's gym and only Fletchender's gym. Okay? So if Ash is gonna use another Pokemon, please let it be used first, and then it'll be knocked out, and then Ash will only use Fletchender. So anyway, my point is, I'm still expecting a sweep and all of that sorts of good things. I already mentioned 75. I don't like it that it's a series of one-on-one battles because Ash is going to lose one of them. Hoping it's Pikachu, but I guess I'm going to have to accept possibly Fletchender or Hawlucha. Frogadier could lose, and maybe Shota would be Ash just because Grovyle versus Frogadier seems to be the main match of the main match of the battle. Did I say that right? Me no English, no well. So if Frogadier versus Grovyle is the main event for that battle, the series of one-on-ones, then it almost seems like Ash will lose. Although, honestly, why Ash should lose against Shota at all is seriously beyond me, because Shota did not, as far as I'm aware, do very well against Clement. Granted, Ash doesn't have Gudra anymore and can't just sweep Shota, but that doesn't mean that in order to make Shota look like a credible threat, they have to have Shota beating Ash. That does not need to, or no, wait, did I say that right? Shota, they don't need to have Shota beating Ash. Okay, just to show Shota as a credible threat. See, even when I do things right, I think I made a mistake. Wow, it's probably because I'm not exactly have the most energy right now, and I'm kind of tired, even though I really haven't done anything. That's what happens when you have very little energy to begin with each and every day. Probably my fault, not the healthiest person, but oh well. Oh well. So I think that pretty much covers it. Like I said, hoping Ash doesn't lose in the series of one-on-one versus Shota, but since it is a series one-on-one, I can't imagine Ash totally sweeping Shota, so someone has to lose. I'm not expecting it to be Frogadier if Ash does win, so that either leaves Hawlucha, Fletchender, or Pikachu, and unfortunately the only one that I'm okay losing is Pikachu, but I honestly don't think Shota has anything strong enough to outright knock out Pikachu. And since it's not a real 3-on-3, it can't be a series of Pokemon that end up beating Pikachu, so we're kind of stuck there. So it's either going to be Fletchender or Hawlucha. Fletchender, I guess, can lose because it hopefully will sweep Valerie, and maybe it loses in a legitimate way. Maybe Bagon knows Head Smash, or that what is it, that powerful rock type move. I don't know if Bagon can learn that, but if it can learn it, that would make sense to why Fletchender would lose, being that a Fire Flying is incredibly weak against rock types. And if Shota does have Bagon, there's still some doubts on whether or not that's the case. But if Shota does have Big On, and it does learn Head Smash, that very powerful rock type move that Craniotos and Rampardos are known for in terms of a rock type move, then Fletchinder would make sense. But Hawlucha, I don't know. I guess Hawlucha could afford a loss. I just would prefer not to read in the comments and the forums about how Hawlucha is being treated like crap on the riders, or however people would say, and that its loss just shows that Ash doesn't need to have 3 flying types. Whatever. Anyway, this covers this particular video. I didn't want to make it too long. I have a little bit of editing. Hopefully it'll be a lot shorter, maybe half, hopefully. So this is just a short discussion to tide you over. There's going to probably be a couple more miniature discussions that I'm going to record after this before I can get the reflections going. But I want there to be some more content on my channel, and I don't want to just upload gaming videos. And I've been pretty much only been uploading gaming videos lately. Well, I don't think that's entirely true, but there was 5 nights at Poof Boys. Okay, this is totally irrelevant. Sorry. Anyway, Pokemon content. Woo! I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. Hello everyone, Dustin Benzel here, just for a quick addendum to my Shota Valerie discussion episodes. Sorry for the increased length, but I really need to talk about it. The preview came out for the episode today because the Spooky House episode came out. I haven't really seen much of the Spooky House. I don't know how it works. Apparently it's a Bonnie-centric episode, apparently, but I'm not really sure on that. Anyway, the preview for the Valerie and Shota episodes, well, at least the next one, 73, in there we have Valerie. There's like a dark scene where Valerie's walking. It kind of looks ominous, and then there's a spotlight on her, and then there are other things going on. The battle between Ash and Shota is confirmed by the preview to be a double battle. Ash will be using Hawlucha and Frogadier, while Shota will be using Trico and Bagon. Then we have some mysterious female characters or whatever. Since Team Rocket is not in the episode, it's very interesting to see what these female characters are all about. And then in the final shot we have Shota's Bagon battling against Valerie Spritzy, and Valerie seemingly on the side of the arena like a referee almost, but maybe I saw it wrong. But anyway, this goes back to what I said earlier in this particular video about how I'm really confused as to why Ash is battling Shota so soon after another, especially since Ash has yet to capture Noibat, and since 75 is that battle between Ash and Shota, and Noibat isn't going to happen until at least 76. It is very confusing as to why they're actually doing a battle. It seems my speculation is wrong, and the battle will seem to have some sort of conclusion based on the preview, because there's explosions going on, and even though I expected something battle-wise to happen, I wasn't expecting a double battle, and I wasn't expecting it to have very much preview time or whatever within the preview. I guess it has to do with the summary, but I thought it'd be mostly about the fashion show. Serena and Bonnie, I guess those mysterious female characters, and Spritzy versus Bagon. So I'm a little concerned with the double battle that Ash and Shota are going to partake with Bagon, Trico versus Frogadier and Hawlucha, because as I said earlier in this video, it doesn't really make any sense to me that Ash is going to battle Shota before the gym battle, the episode before the gym battle, and then right after the gym battle, Ash is going to battle Shota again. Like I said, I don't understand why the placement is off the way that it is, and I feel like it would be much better if it happened after Noibat's capture, so at least Noibat could be in there and could be justified loss that Ash probably would need in that series of 1 versus 1. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a series of one-on-ones because it is a best of 3, and that implies a series of one-on-ones. But maybe I'm not understanding correctly. Maybe it is a. I guess we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure it's a series of one-on-ones, but yeah, I just don't get it because it's happening before Noibat's capture, so that's a little confusing. However, it is interesting to note that Frogadier and Hawlucha are indeed battling uh, Shota in these episodes. It seems like it confirms that Fletch Ender and Pikachu seems to be against Valerie. This would have been the last gym battle Frogadier would have been able to take place in, but at least there's a lot of battles in between, and that's what I like to see. I'm not so much as complaining that Ash is battling Shota twice in such a short period of time. I'm more of a complaining about the placement. It doesn't make sense that the only difference between the two battles is that Trico either evolves mid-episode or mid-battle, and then, I don't know, beats Frogadier for whatever reason, and to justify possibly Shota losing in this double battle. And then there's like really nothing that Ash has changed except that he got a badge, so I'm a little concerned about why they're doing this when I would have felt a lot better if Ash and Shota battled when Ash had Noibat, because Noibat needs to catch up in battles, and Noibat is not going to be used very much. Valerie, it doesn't seem like we're going to get a rematch against Valerie anytime soon, so it's unlikely that Ash is going to lose. He's going to get his fairy badge, and there's only 2 gyms afterwards. So it's great that Frogadier is getting battles, because unless it evolves into Greninja before Olympia, there's not really going to be a lot going on there. In terms of Frogadier, Frogadier might be used against Wulfric just because it resists ice types, but there's still no guarantee. It's great that Hawlucha is getting some battles here, because it wouldn't be good against Valerie, Olympia, and it would be semi-neutral against Wulfric, seeing as how fighting is super effective against ice. Even though Hawlucha doesn't resist ice, it's still there. So yeah, it doesn't really make any sense to me that they're just giving all these. We've already seen a lot of these Pokemon battling, and sure, they're not going to possibly be in a lot of gyms afterwards, but, you know, neither is the Noibat coming up, or even Ash's last Pokemon, which is probably going to be caught after Olympia. Maybe even after Wulfric. There's no guarantee when Ash is going to get his next Pokemon after Noibat, because we don't have any sort of clue as to what Ash's last Kalos Pokemon is going to be. Remember that calendar that I showed you in that other episode, and there was a Torchic in it? KG Prestige, another person who makes Pokemon videos, suggested that maybe Torchic would go to Ash, and he explained why Torchic would be going to Ash or whatever. The problem that I have with Torchic being on Ash's team is that it would be caught too late, and expecting it to quickly evolve into Blaziken just so it can get a Mega Evolution just doesn't make any sense. Unless there's a year gap between the last gym with Wulfric and the League or something, or maybe a Mega Evolution arc after the League. I don't know, but it seems too late to give Ash Torchic just to evolve it into a Mega Pokemon. So at best, we're either looking at a standalone or a Pokemon that can only evolve once, or maybe Ash can get a Beedrill. Maybe he can capture a Weedle and fully evolve it into Beedrill and Mega evolve it, because Weedle could easily evolve within a few episodes. You know, Ash captures Weedle, next episode it evolves into Kakuna, and then Kakuna battles against some trainer, possibly using Bug Bite, and then it evolves into Beedrill, and then all of a sudden we can have a Mega Evolution of Beedrill in the future. So For Beedrill, it would make sense, but for other Mega Evolutions, it just doesn't really make sense. It would just be better to have Ash bring back a Pokemon. But this isn't entirely about this. I'm just saying that the battle placement is just a little off, because these type of episodes should have been already happening to begin with, and it's odd that they're having such short amount of time between these battles, and yet Noibat is going to be caught right after that second battle. And even if the Starly episode were to imply that Noibat's going to get some battles eventually, Noibat was the perfect Pokemon of Ash's that could lose, because it's still new to the team. It's kind of like a baby Pokemon, kind of. It didn't hatch from egg as far as we are aware, because Ash doesn't have an egg currently, and it's almost time to get to Noibat, so it's just going to be an otherwise capture. Well, to be fair, I suppose Noibat could hatch within the actual episode. There could be a mysterious egg that was abandoned, and it hatches into Noibat very early in the episode, and everything else that follows could be the case, possibly, but, you know, I'm not really seeing that happening, so Noibat seems to be at least young. I don't think it's hatched. I think it's just young. I think it's only been around for maybe a couple of days, or maybe it could just be like Gligar. I don't think Gligar was quite a baby Pokemon, that it was recently hatched, but I just think Gligar may have been a little bit slow mentally, or slowly developed, because all the other Gligar and Gliscor in that episode could glide just fine, but it was Ash's Gligar that had issues and had its own personality differ from the other Gligar and Gliscor. So I think it might be something of that. Maybe Noibat is just having hard to developing the flying ability. So anyway, yeah, it would have been perfect for Noibat to be caught and then battle and then have it lose, so Ash can get used to Noibat. Noibat can get some battling experience. But the double battle and the series of the three one-on-ones that are happening so close without any team change from Ash, and the only team change is going to be from Shota, likely just so Shota can beat Ash, does not sit very well. But hey, at least Frogadier is at least going to be battling quite a bit. Maybe it means that they're trying to compensate that Froakie didn't really do much in the beginning of the series, and that Frogadier really hasn't gotten anything too much since Ramos, and probably won't get anything anytime soon unless it evolves into Greninja before Olympia. But there's no guarantee that's going to happen. We still don't know when Olympia is going to happen, but we still don't know what Frogadier's future is going to be by September. None of Ash's team members, there's not going to be any team member changes after Noibat up to September, at least in regards to Ash, with the exception of what could happen to Frogadier. But I don't think Olympia is going to wait until September to happen. I think Olympia is probably going to happen around, well, it's going to happen after the movie. Because if they did, I'm already upset that Valerie is happening before the movie. I always thought that Clement would have been the perfect gym to end the first half of the year before the movie, and then Valerie would be right after. But since I expect Olympia to be after the movie, well, actually, no, because if the movie is in July, and I don't expect Olympia to happen before then, so then that would be August. There might be a couple of breaks due to the DNC movie possibly playing on TV Tokyo, so there might be a break there in August. So maybe we will get September. Maybe maybe I was wrong. I thought September was quite a few ways, but maybe we'll get something in September. In terms of Olympia, it could even be October, possibly. Maybe Olympia is the last gym leader of the year, possibly. So yeah, maybe Frogadier could evolve during that. I'm not seeing it. It's a little weird that Frogadier would evolve before Greninja, Frogadier would evolve before Fletchinder, but, you know, hey, whatever, right? Talonflame could still happen by Wolfric or whatever, so
Not a lot of there's a lot of confusion going on with the series. It seems that we're really slowing down on character and team development outside of Noibat and Eevee. Eevee is still going to be around at least by if we go by the calendar by September. So it might be I have to wait till October or November before Serena's Eevee evolves, and since Ash's Fletchinder and Noibat is shown in there, they're not going to evolve by September, so that kind of just leaves Frogadier and maybe another team member. I'm not sure if September is a time that Ash is going to get another Pokemon, but I guess we'll see. So anyway, sorry for this little bit long addendum to my video. I just wanted to mention the preview and talk a little bit more about certain things. So I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.